प्यारे ब्रह्मा बाबा आंखों के सामने से आंखों में तुम समाए थे आज ही के दिन। ओ प्राण प्यारे बाबा प्राणों को करके अर्पण संपूर्णता को पाए थे आज ही के दिन। ओ प्यारे ब्रह्मा बाबा आंखों के सामने से आंखों में तुम समाए थे आज ही के दिन।
18 जनवरी 18 जनवरी 18 जनवरी आज ही के दिन।
The true Gita is recreated. Dada was now having the experience that God was singing him his Gita, song of knowledge, inside him in a secret and indiscernible way. The inspiration of God's knowledge was increasing within him constantly and, at the same time, Dada was becoming stabilized in his new consciousness, experiencing ever more deeply the wonderful taste of self-realization. His intellect was moving faster now, too. He began to churn over the ideas, over what the Mahavakyas, real great sayings, in the Gita of Bhagavan and their deep meaning were. He received divine wisdom in response to all his questions, and he understood firmly that the Gita was the only scripture in which God himself speaks his great versions. But now Dada realized that the Bhagavad Gita, as it is presently read, is in a distorted and much diluted form due to errors and additions which had crept in since it was first delivered orally by God 5,000 years ago. The Gita scripture was not written down until 2,500 years later, after the fall of the deities who were created by hearing it in the first place. But now Shiva was giving his knowledge again and making Dada realize its implications in practical form. The written Gita which Dada was reading every day became less and less relevant to such an extent that very soon he detached from it entirely. Of what use was that old scripture, now that the real Gita was being sung to him by God himself? Dada had the experience that he was Arjun and that God had entered the chariot of his body to give him the knowledge. God himself, in order to keep his promise, had come again in secret to fulfill the desires of his devotees. Dada felt that now, at last, he had the accurate knowledge of the self, of nature and of God. He knew that his perishable physical body was simply one of many and was the last of a series which began 5,000 years ago as Krishna. And soon this world of sorrow would be replaced with a world of happiness once more, and he would be reborn as baby Krishna, destined to rule in paradise. He was the first man, Adidev, who was being recreated in God's image. When the job was complete, he would be set down in the Garden of Eden. He, Dada, was the original Adam. Once he had heard the secret voice of God, Dada began giving the knowledge to all his friends and relatives. When he revealed to them that they were souls, they were overjoyed, experiencing God's love as it poured directly from Dada's eyes. It was an experience so powerful that they were mesmerized. And Dada himself was utterly intoxicated. He used to say to people simply, "You are a soul." That was enough. He wrote it also, so it would not be forgotten. I am a soul. Jashoda is a soul. Radhika is a soul. He wrote it over and over until it became firmly fixed in their minds. As others came in contact with him, they too became transfixed. Men and women, rich and poor, all felt the experience. It was as if their lives were reawakened, they became self-realized. They experienced themselves as light. Along with this came peace of mind. Their worldly desires slipped away. They began to lead pure lives, pure in eating, drinking, speaking, behaving and thinking. In a remarkably short time after entering Dada's body, which God continued to borrow at regular intervals in order to teach, God had utterly transformed the lives of all who came close. He educated these souls untiringly, and even as their numbers grew, he gave love like a father, a completely selfless parent, with equal love for all, patient, merciful and just. He also showed them rules and methods for making their lives as elevated and as valuable as they could possibly be. Shiv Baba was creating living diamonds. Realization of the process of death. Kamal Chand died before Dada was able to reach him. Some days later though, Dada had a vision. While sitting alone in his office, Dada saw the moment of Kaka's death. He saw the soul take its leave of the body, exit through the forehead. He saw this life energy rise like mercury in a thermometer, moving up from the toes and finally concentrating in the head. Then in an instant, the soul departed. Dada now understood the process of death. Only the body died, he saw clearly. Not the soul. Within a week of the vision of Kamal Chand's death, Dada received yet another revelation. This time he saw the deity Vishnu once again, who spoke these words, "I am the four-armed one, you are that." Afterwards, other visionary figures appeared, Shri Krishna Jagannath, Badranath Ji and Kedarnath Ji, one after another, each saying the same thing. You are that. Dada reached a state of great happiness because of these revelations. But how were they to be understood? He began thinking deeply about them. During this period, Dada's guru showed up. Since Dada was still not quite sure what role the guru played in all these extraordinary experiences, and since the guru seemed the best human teacher he could rely on in such matters, he continued to treat him with the same respect as before. Dada arranged a large reception for him. Many people were sitting there. But the way Dada sat in their midst, the way he got up, in fact everything he did, was now completely different. Dada's body had not changed, but it was clear that his mind had become detached. The soul of Dada was receiving power from some unworldly source, B.K. Dadid Rajendraji, who had the good fortune to be there, writes about what happened on the night of this gathering. The guru was lecturing, and Dada got up to leave. Never before had he done such a thing, for it was a sign of disrespect. My attention was drawn to Dada. I knew that something very powerful must have taken hold of him to make him act this way. I sent Jashodaji, his wife, to speak to him. Then I had the idea to go after him also. I went to Dada's room and sat down near him. Jashoda returned to hear the Guru's lecture. I will never forget what happened next. I saw that the eyes of Dada had become completely red, as if a red light was glowing inside him. His whole face had become red, and even the room was illuminated with a reddish, otherworldly glow. And then something began to happen inside me, too. I felt bodiless. How can I describe it? I was there and yet I wasn't. I was simply light. My mind felt clearer than it ever had been. I heard a sound from above. It was as if, through the mouth of Dada, someone else was speaking. That voice was so very quiet at first, then it grew louder and louder. It was stunning. not frightening, but simply awe-inspiring. The voice spoke. Nijanandrupam Shivaham Shivaham Jayan Swarupam Shivaham Shivaham Prakash Swarupam Shivaham Shivaham Nijanan Swarup Jayan Swarup Prakash Swamp. Translation. 7 am The blissful self Lam Shiva, Lam Shiva I am the knowledgeful self I am Shiva, I am Shiva I am the luminous self I am Shiva, I am Shiva I am the form of self, the form of knowledge, the form of light. To this day, I cannot forget that voice, nor that scene. The atmosphere was electric, more than real, and my experience of feeling as if I was without a body is still alive in my memory. As soon as Dada opened his eyes, he started looking around with great wonder. Whatever he had seen had jolted him to the core of his being. I asked him, "Baba, what are you seeing?" He said, "Do you know what that was?" It was light. It was power. And there was an altogether new world. There was someone, far away, there were many, they looked like stars, and when the stars came down, they became princes and princesses. The light and power said to me, "You have to make such a world." But he did not show how that world was to be made. How shall I be able to make such a world? Who was that speaking to Dada? It was the highest on high. I had witnessed the arrival of the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, Shiva, in the body of Dada. Dada fell into deep, deep thought. He immersed himself in the work of solving the mystery of this unparalleled event. Who was that? What kind of power could give me such visions, such knowledge, such self-realization? Gradually he unraveled the logic and the implications of it all. The secret was unveiled to his astounded intellect. Yes, it was really so. God, the Supreme Soul, Shiva, himself, had entered his body. It was God who had revealed the truth about the coming destruction and of the establishment of the heavenly world that would then follow. And it was God himself who had given the sign that he, Dada, was to be his medium and the engine for creating such a divine world.
While following Father Brahma, become equal and complete. Father Brahma became a companion of the children in every action and made them into karma yogis. He didn't just observe as a detached observer, but he became a companion in order to give the experience of the importance of physical actions. Whatever actions I perform, children who see me will automatically do the same. He always taught this lesson while performing actions. He became a child with the children, a youth with the young ones, and an elder with the elderly, and enabled them to move forward. He gave each one so much love that each one felt, "Baba is mine." He saw the speciality of each soul. He always had pure and positive thoughts for everyone. To become equal in all these things means to follow the Father. That nowhere in the world you will find these answers. Answers from Avyakt Murli's 1969. Question number 1. Dear most beloved Baba, what is soul consciousness? What is the final stage? Baba's answer. Sweet child, at the end, the body will become completely still and peaceful. This is known as soul consciousness. Now, because there are still some outstanding karmic accounts, your body draws your attention. Soul consciousness means an avyakt stage. The more you stabilize in this stage, whether someone speaks or not, the more you will be able to know that one's feelings beforehand. If you consider yourself to be a guest, you will be able to become the final, perfect stage. Whilst being in the corporeal form, you will be able to remain in the Avyakt stage. A guest does not have attachment to anyone. Everyone has to create extra time for staying in the Avyakt stage. Whilst talking to one another, see each other as souls. Whilst being in the body, see the soul. This is the first lesson which is now essential. Become a zero, without any sanskars of the past. I am a point. If you increase your practice, you will be able to stabilize yourself in that stage for many hours, then you can experience the sweetness of that stage. Just as a whole tree is merged in the seed, Baba's remembrance is merged in me, the soul. Considering yourself to be a soul, you also have to come into a body and perform actions being loving and detached. Soul consciousness means an Avyakt stage. The weakness of not being able to stabilize yourself in the point form is that the first lesson is not firm. You should experience yourself to be a bodiless soul whilst performing actions. This practice throughout the day is very much needed. You have to be detached from practical matters and then come into action. The more experience you have of this, the more you will stabilize yourself in the point form. If all of you continue to see the jewel on the forehead of each one, then your drishti and attitude will become pure and satopradhan. The main reason why your drishti becomes mischievous is that you don't see the jewel on the forehead but you see the physical form instead. Whilst looking at the snake, body, do not see the snake. Just see the jewel, soul. The poison of the snake will not be so poisonous if you look at the jewel. If you see the snake, which is the body, you will belong to the snake. You will become like that. But if you see the jewel, you will become a jewel in Bap Dada's rosary. If you want to become a jewel, you must see the jewel. Then your complaint will be transformed and you will become complete. All of you have to perform every action whilst in the stage of a spiritual spirit. Only then will there be that sparkle in service and in your actions. There will be a new sparkle when there is spirituality in your every action, every thought and in your speech. The more you consider yourself and others to be Godfather's property, the more there will be spirituality. You should create thoughts in your mind whilst considering the mind to be given to you in trust. Whether it is a student, center or physical object, when you consider it to be given to you in trust, you will remain unattracted by it. It is only when you remain unattracted that there will be spirituality. You have to surrender yourself to the flame to this extent.